So a crazy new freakout just got viral in the internet. This time it's sensitive and controversial of an ideological nature, considering that a transgender person is involved in here. That means that opinions are gonna be divided as to who's gonna support the transgender fellow in the video or the cops. So in this video I'm gonna try to stay neutral as best as I can here, considering, well, really my political or cultural affiliation is more of a neutral kind than any other. The video in question is a police bodycam footage that was first uploaded by YouTube channel Inside the Blues TV on July 18th, at least in my time zone. The story goes that the cop, the POV of whom we're viewing, was at the campus of University of Central Florida to check into something. I'm not sure, some domestic issue or vehicle issue, well, it's really irrelevant here. Check this out.
Why do you let those kids get away with this? They are not supposed to be here!
If you don't lower your voice, I am going to put handcuffs on you and I'm going to take you to a Baker Act facility. You lower your voice.
Fucking try it.
Did you see it? Do you possess the acute perception required to see and hear something really important? That's right. The fellow in the video, the transgender fellow, was the one who, in an unprovoked manner, yelled loudly and antagonized the officer, for reasons unknown, perhaps some anti-police sentiment or something. Remember this fact. Remember that the fellow in the video is acting really unbecomingly of their age. The fellow is like a character from an Adult Swim cartoon show or something. Oh my god, that's literally how the fellow is like, down to their voice. Moving on, the officer then requests another officer to deal with what he said as J-Line?
Can we get another unit to deal with Jay Lee here? He is having a break.
I don't know what he's talking about. Obviously, it refers to the shaggy-haired fellow over here. But due to the officer saying this, something snapped in the shaggy-haired fellow.
Breakdown.
Say! Just say the right pronoun!
What'd you say?
7351.
Alright, so from here we can see the flaw of the cop in that he failed to de-escalate the situation to the best of his ability. Because he just threatened the wacky-haired fellow with a pepper spray and things only got worse from there. Well, I can cut him some slack. He probably thought that the fellow was going to attack him with his sharp lunge and battle cry. What happens next is basically the fellow screaming, acting like a spoiled baby, that they're being abused when no such thing is happening. Heck, even before the cop put up the pepper spray, the fellow said that they're being abused already.
I don't have time to constantly be abused.
We'll get.
The wacky-haired fellow also yells correction to the officer, Shay! Every time the fellow feels like they're being misgendered.
Say!
The most famous part of this footage comes a couple of seconds later when the Earl of Lemongrab from Adventure Time here does this mature expression of frustration to this woe, this calamity of being misgendered.
Misgendering me!
What happens afterwards is some meaningless argument and the two cops trying to tackle the wacky-haired fellow. Eventually, the POV cop announces that he's gonna tase him.
Frame.
No, please don't say him! Her!
Okay, her. I'm gonna spray her.
Thank you.
Oh my god, so the fellow cares more about being misgendered than being pepper sprayed. I like the fellow's spirit. Anyway, eventually the fellow got tased once because of failure of cooperation and had this little maneuver done. Long story short, the fellow then got arrested for battery and other charges, although no public records of jail sentence can be found and the case was closed. Honorable mention to this guy who seemed like throughout the video he was trying to soothe the angry toddler here. This happened in February 5th last year, by the way. Holy shit, it's such a long time ago now. Over 1 year ago. I remember vividly the time around that date. I was probably in the midst of one of this channel's long bouts of procrastination and inactivity. This went viral a few days later after the footage got uploaded. News articles popped up covering it. People's reactions are mixed, with some supporting the officer and mocking the transgender fellow for being, well, transgender and acting like a child. This guy talked about how a subreddit lost his moderator. This guy said this is who argues with you online. This guy said nobody was misgendered in this video. And this guy said this person just wants to be a victim so bad. This negative Nancy said that society has fallen off the edge of reality. This guy mocked further, saying very unladylike behavior. The others were blaming the officer for his failure to de-escalate and that he could have respected the fellow's pronouns to not escalate the situation further. Some people also think that this is a skit and thus fake. Well, hate to break it to you, but there is this mugshot by the police department involved, so I don't think this is a skit. Y'all just gotta accept there are maybe, even amongst the transgender community, unusual fellas. Here's what I think. The blame lies mostly or even entirely on the freaky-haired fella, not because of transgenderism, but rather the fellow's own childish, self-centered, easily offended personality that escalated the situation terribly, and ultimately causing their own arrestation, which really would not have happened at all if the fellow managed to keep their composure and learn to not give a It would also not shine even further an already bad light on the transgender community. And obviously, this does not represent the transgender community as a whole, despite what many of the right-wing fellas on the internet like to think. I mean, how would they like it if a hypothetical priest was ousted for being a pedophile, and then some people think every priest is like that? I think a lot of people should understand that transgenderism, the idea to identify as the opposite gender, is not something everybody in the world agrees or accepts. To put it bluntly, it's just weird to them. Not everybody agrees with weirdness. And of course, just because they don't agree with it, doesn't mean they want all the transgender fellas out there to be like the Jews in Holocaust or something. If somebody insults you, it's advisable that you don't give a shit about the insult or the person who made it and move on with your life, like what this guy said. This is less about the matter of transgenderism, but rather more about just not making trouble or big drama over what ultimately are trivial things in your life. That is, what people think of you. This is more about the issue of not acting like a problematic toddler, to understand that the world doesn't always go your way and you should learn to deal with it, not yell and make a scene about it. And that ends the video for today. Thank you for watching. See ya!